a wild ride for the ousted Prime Minister of Bangladesh, Sheikh Hasina, who was just sentenced to death in absentia at the end of a months-long trial that found her guilty of ordering a deadly crackdown on the student-led uprisings just last year. It was a big moment for the country, the harshest verdict against a leader in the country's history. She fled to neighboring India in August of 2024 at the height of that uprising against her government and issued a statement this week dismissing the court as a quote-unquote rigged tribunal. We're joined by Aditya Arajko, the executive editor of National and Security Affairs at TV9 Network in Delhi. Thanks for joining us. But Prime Minister Hasina, 78 years old. She was found guilty on 3 counts, including incitement, ordering killings, failing to prevent atrocities, all during this uprising. Can you remind us and our viewers just what led to that situation in 2024?
I'm the senior executive editor at NDTV, just to correct that. But the situation right now is very much grim in Bangladesh. Even as we speak right now, David, there have been clashes that have been reported at 32 Dhanamondi, which is the ancestral place of Sheikh Hasina and her father, who's known as the father of Bangladesh in many ways, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. And earlier this afternoon, the historic verdict came in from the International Tribunal in Dhaka, giving a death sentence to the former Prime Minister, Sheikh Hasina. Now, remember, Sheikh Hasina's party, Awami League, has millions of followers even today in Bangladesh. Most of the ministers are in exile in many countries, including India and the United States and UAE. But the situation remains grim. The chief advisor of the government has said that the elections will happen next year in February, but nobody knows whether the Awami League will be allowed to contest because it has been banned officially by the interim government, and a status quo remains there. Last evening, I interviewed Sheikh Hasina in New Delhi. She's at a secret hiding here. She has taken refuge in last many months. But Sheikh Hasina told me that Muhammad Yunus is an authoritarian leader. He has links with radical Islamist elements. He has links with terror groups as well. And she will fight him out. She says she's in Delhi for now, but her battle for democracy will continue.
Fascinating. Look, in terms of what's happening in the country in reaction to this, I've read at least 30 crude bomb explosions have taken place, 26 vehicles torched. It's just what I read recently over the past days. Now, how serious are the counter-protests or unrest in her support in Bangladesh, if that exists?
Well, it's a double battle for them. First, they have to hide through the authorities out there. And secondly, they have to wage a battle for justice, for their political voice to really come out shining. Well, it's a complex situation. I would say that most of the top leadership of Awami League is out of the country. Today itself, apart from the former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, interviewed 2 other ministers. One, who was the former education minister, and second, who was the information broadcasting minister. They both, again, are not in Bangladesh. So it's complicated. But there are millions of supporters. Whether they will get into a street fight with the Muhammad Yunus government, only time will tell. But the road ahead for Sheikh Hasina, for Awami League, seems to be very, very challenging and difficult. But for Muhammad Yunus as well, it is going to be very complicated to have free and fair elections at a time when the international community will be watching very, very closely. And as you rightly pointed out, Sheikh Hasina is in New Delhi, but as she has been pledging, she has a great support out there. And she says that we will fight it out democratically and otherwise on the streets as well.
In short, is this creating any potential regional friction and fallout as well? As she's sheltered it in Delhi, for example, is there friction between India and Bangladesh?
Oh, absolutely. On one side, there is violence in Dhaka and other cities. On the other side, there is a geopolitical issue that is brewing because after Sheikh Hasina's ouster violently, Pakistan and Bangladesh have come closer, much, much closer, that their military, their intelligence, and their radical elements, the Jamaat-e-Islami, have come much closer. In fact, Sheikh Hasina told me in the interview that Hizbut Tahrir, a terror group, has been close to Muhammad Yunus, and Muhammad Yunus has put out a red carpet for the Pakistani administration. The other 2 ministers that I interviewed also echoed the same sentiment, that they are worried that in future, Bangladesh could get in the hands of the radicals. That will make the society much more radical, and it can be a safe haven for terror groups as well. India is also concerned at this particular stage because they have a large heart and on a humanitarian basis given heart to Sheikh Hasina, but the road ahead would be challenging because India's borders with Pakistan have been challenging over the last few months, and with Bangladesh as well, it will be difficult.
Thank you so much for joining us from Delhi, Aditya.